Hi, it's Peggy from the Pearl Forest. Welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd share with you a journal that I've made several years ago. It's not done, it's a work in progress. And I just have a colored shoelace as my current tie. I may put something more permanent on it later. And this is just actually a book. As a matter of fact, it's even damaged probably when they opened the box or something. It's called Do the Right Thing by Daniel Lubetsky. I liked the name, Do the Kind Thing. That was, I believe, from the dollar store. I have a number of things just sitting in the front waiting for me. If we have some time, I might go over this little journal, but for right now, I'm going to set it aside. So I've taken this, well, it's going to slide out, so let me just move it. I've taken the book, and I believe I've taken out some of the pages, but like I said, it's been a while. I've covered each page with scrapbook paper, and a lot of this was a study of the Hebrew alphabet that I had. Each 2-page spread is, kind of color coordinated. This one is from a poster. There's some letters I cut off the poster. It said God's Way. It has an arrow. And then it also had this Bible verse, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, John 8:32. And this is some scrapbook paper. Well, actually, that feels like wrapping paper. And this is scrapbook paper. So this is a little tuck. A lot of these pages you'll see, I'm not going to go over everything, but I have various stickers. That one actually has some kind of a glittery, bumpy texture. Some 3-dimensional layered stickers. This looks like I fussy cut something out of that. And then these are some kinds of stickers. This, once again, is like a little foam dot in between these two medallions. So these are ready to be written on when I'm ready to come back and add some things. I hadn't gotten to that stage yet. So this is kind of like the opening page. Now, a lot of these pages have pages glued together to make them thicker, and I've made a pocket. These are just book pages with the scrapbook paper over it, and then I've glued them on the outside. So for part of this project, I'm going to measure these pockets, see if there's kind of a standard. I think 6 might be comfortable. You have a little wiggle room. And let's see, maybe 6 by 4. So I'm going to use some of this cardstock here to cut some 6 by 4 cards to go in here, so that when I want to come to my journal and add to it, I have that card ready at hand and I can do something with it. I'll just show you a few of the pages. So there's the Hebrew alphabet, and then I have Psalm 119 written. Several verses would fit on one of these lined pages, and then it would continue on to the next page. This one is verses 1 through 8, and this one is 9 through 16. And you can see that the decorations and the paper are different on each one, and pens on here are different on each one. And each of these black scrapbook paper, which have this written from a scrapbook point of view, there were some lined papers are on top of each of them. And then each of these black pieces of paper are a pocket on the page. And they each have the study card that goes with the Hebrew alphabet letter. So it can be spelled Aleph or Aleph, and how to pronounce it and how to write it, and its transliteration, etc. Because I was going to be studying these, and I may still in the future, but that's originally why I made this book. So there's a pocket here, and something additional could go in there. Some of them have pockets here for additional cards. Some do not. That one does not, but here's another one that does. And once again, these, you can see they're the book pages. And it looks like I glued here like 3 or 4 pages together, so they're fairly thick. But you still have this pocket in here with the card in there. So even if you're not doing exactly this, which I doubt you would be because journals are vary greatly, but this is a style that you could do. Take an actual book, glue several pages together, or take them out. You can put paper on them. You can add a large thing on as a pocket. It could be a pocket this way too, but mine are going this way. You can put some decorations on. You could still write on this or later add additional things. And on some of the pages, not only can this be a pocket, that looks like I need to glue that down again, but also you can have a pocket between the pages. So that's where we're going to put the cards. So anyway, they look, each page is different, but similar kind of theme, has the letter and some kind of decoration. Might be a little collage, or it might be one thing. And then here I just have a page in between that actually has an upside down page put on here, and it's been stenciled and painted. And then we go back to the same kind of format. Like I said, the 2-page spread has color similarities. This one has some paint splatters and a little bit more paint splatters on this side. This is some scrapbook paper, but also added stickers. And I've tried to coordinate the colors and coordinate the 2 papers across. Here's, you can see the binding is coming apart a little bit there. Here's 2 pages that don't have anything. So occasionally there was one of those, so I could come in and add something later. Then the alphabet is continuing and Psalm 119. Here's another 2 pages and some more of Psalm 119 and letters. Here's some more of those sparkly stickers. And here I put a little bit of collage under the alphabet letter. This one seems to have some kind of issues a little bit there. Like it's torn or something. I'm not sure what that's about. Even like over here, maybe it got glued together. You can go back and add decorations or washi, you know, to remedy that situation. Like here's a pocket page. There's several of them in here. And then we get to another 2-page that's available. This paper was big enough to go all the way across, and so I cut it and made it a, or maybe it had this fancy edge. It looks almost like it does. So I made a little tuck pocket. Here's some, what I call blank. They don't have stuff added yet. They're available. This one, I like this bookmark with this page, so I've left it in here. I want to make a pocket for it. So I have lots of stuff in here that I can do with this journal. And yes, it is quite full. But today I just thought maybe we could use this stuff that was stuck inside of there. Hopefully I will find my book weight. I do have one of those that holds the book open. So it had in here this lightweight cardstock scrapbook paper, and this one that has a white edge on it. So we have those 2 pieces. We have this bookmark with a verse and a title, and it's from By the Well. By the Well for God is a company. And then here's a little sheep, and the paper this little one was glued on, but it had this page that you could then, you know, write on or whatever, and I glued it to this yellow one. I'm not sure why. There's a little yellow. And so this can be a little writing surface. So I thought, well, one of these I thought would be good for the bookmark. That's kind of tight, but if we put it just on the edge, then that should fit. So maybe we'll put that on this side. Once again, I still have this regular lid on my art glitter glue at the moment. I don't have the thin metal one, so it's harder to get a thin line. I really look forward to the day when I have just the right amount of stuff and I know where it all is. Let's see. Guess we'll just put this in the middle. And I can go back and add additional decorations. I did scoop out some pink things that could be used with this. So we might add something like that on top to go along with this too. And this is right after this page, right at the start of the book. So we'll let that dry. And we have this white edge. Maybe we can cover that up. I would add a little yellow that looks nice with this and with that. We could put some things somewhere. Maybe we could just put it on here, or put it on here and wrap it around so we don't have the beige. That could even be a tuck maybe. Let's see if we fold this. But let's just make it long enough, or just a tad over so I can trim it exact. We can keep this little piece to put with something for additional additional decoration on the page. So I'm going to glue this down, and I'm going to glue these two sides like that. So I'm going to stick this on here, and that can be a little tuck, and then this can just glue onto the back. So it adds some nice yellow. Now, let's see how I can get a hold of this. I think I'd like to tear this to match what's already torn, if I can. Hope you're having a good day. We have a little bit of an overcast day, but still it's not raining, so it's pretty good. Yesterday I worked on my on the road art studio again. It's coming along. Okay, so this goes this way, unfortunately, so can't go that way. Be nice if we could get all of this tucked in there, but at the same time we want to be able to pull it out. So I'm not sure that's the answer. So we can put this in that way, or we could put it in this way. We'll go like this for right now. Okay, and that's nice. It says God gave us the way, and over here it says God's way. I didn't notice that before. And they're in similar colors. I think I'm just gonna glue this down, and then I'll make sort of a little thing to hold it down. All right, we don't want it to glue to itself. We want our sheep down here. Maybe we do. See, it has to, oops, have room for the sheep though. So put it like that. So this gives us another little bit of yellow, and also all this room to write and all this room to write. And maybe we'll put this down here. It'll coordinate, give the sheep a little bit of foundation. Let's see. Does that look good? Something like that. And a little bit more of that color. And we need like a little flower, little something to hold it closed, maybe on this side. We do have these. Not sure if they're small enough though. Let's see. Was thinking of using this flower. Come on. If I mount this on some paper, that might work, because then it could go over that. So let's see. Nope, I need that. Oh, here we have some of these little envelope pieces from when we cut them off the end of an envelope the other day. See if one of these are big enough. Give it some strength. Okay, so I'll stick it on here. Yeah, I guess I'll stick it on this side. Just give it a little texture behind it. Lots of glue. Do you ever have journals that you work on and then set aside for a while and then come back? I've made so many journals for other people that I don't tend to get a lot of time on my own, making my own. So I'm hoping to get back to that again soon, to do more of the journaling side for myself. So I'm just fussy cutting around this washi sticker. So that we can put it on the page. These are kind of, I don't know, plasticky, almost waxy in a way feeling, but kind of a different texture with the magazine stuff underneath. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so to get this on here, we want to not go beyond that. So just glue this side. Get some out here in the middle. So it makes sort of a latch. I wonder if I can use some journaling techniques, like this kind of a latch in my mobile art studio to hold my cabinets closed. What do you think? It doesn't really fold to get in here very easily. You could bend the flower, but I don't really want to do that. So you might avoid some of getting at some of that stuff. Okay, so let's decorate the front of this. And let's see. We have this piece. We have some of this. I don't think this one goes as much, so I'm going to get rid of that. We do have this sticker border. A little bit of that, but I think I'm not going to go with that. And then we have some stickers to choose from. We have this little, actually have 3 of these, I think. Little washi stickers. We do have some postage stamps and flowers and other things, but let's see what we can do with this. It's going to have a pocket here, so we don't want to have anything too lumpy in the way. Does this fit on here? Not really. We also can put something on this. Maybe we'll just make sort of a collage out of this scrap. Just kind of round the edges, just to put something out on this edge. Maybe we'll do sort of a similar thing on both pockets. And find some things later to add, possibly. Maybe that could go on there. And maybe we can just rough these edges up a little. I don't know if I'll show this journal working on it again. We'll see if something comes up. But I just wanted to share what I had done. I think the pages came out nice. Let's see. I think I'm going to make one of these look kind of square and then one kind of rectangle. So I'll glue this one on. And maybe when we cut some cards to go in the big pockets, we can cut one that will go in this pocket. Or other pockets if we have other ones. Most of the decorations in this book are fairly simple because they're not really the main focus. Let's see. I think I'll put this one, mostly because I like the colors. I like what they all say. Okay, and this is going to be a pocket. Actually, 2 pockets. Let's see. Oops. Put it up here. I shouldn't slide it on the page because when you slide it, your glue moves and then you kind of shrink down the size of your pocket a bit. I say after I already did it. But it still works out. Okay. Do I want this to go? I kind of think I want it to go off the edge of the pocket. kind of blend it into the page. This is sort of a label-y shape. And those kind of go together nicely. This blends in more than I'd like though, so I think I'm going to go with the Hope. And I'm not really necessarily a big fan of these, so I will pop them into my little cup on my desk that's just got little whatsits I'll try to use periodically. And I'm going to go with Hope. So here's our page, and we can do a 4x6 card for the ends of some of them. Which one? Like this one. And then this one could hold, we don't want to cover all that up, we can make it shorter, maybe 3 by 2. Let's see, maybe this light pink. So we need 4x6. I think by having these cards cut and in the book, then when it comes time to want to add something, you don't have to hunt for something. And you can always add decoration if you want, or not. But you don't have to worry about it as much. Whoops. So this is 3, and then we're just going to go 2, maybe 2.5. And then a little one that can go, I guess that is the little one. Did I make this a pocket up here? I did. Oh, this one will fit here. This one could fit there. And this one can go in the big pocket here, which I could add a tab on that at a later time too, so you can see it easier. So those are some things you can do if you're putting something in a book. If you're starting out, you can just take inexpensive or thrifted, reused whatever book. Maybe it's a book you bought and you've read it and you don't care for it enough that you want to keep it forever, or maybe you want to keep parts of it. I'll share that kind of a book with you one of these days. But anyway, you can just add to it like this all at once or little by little, gluing several pages together, adding scrapbook paper or whatever you have. Maybe it's magazines. And decorate. You can do the whole thing at one time, or you can do page by page. You can make yourself pockets on the sides, and you can also make like tucks or pockets on a page, like we have this one for future times. We have this pull out, and we have this bookmark sized pocket. I think the butterfly would be pretty there later. And like this big edition, which is also a pocket, and then pocket on the side as well. So thank you for joining me. Take a peek at this book and see what we have inside. And you can just tie a shoestring or a ribbon around your book if you'd like. However you'd like to do it. It doesn't have to be fancy like you might see on other people's channels. Those are great ideas, but sometimes simple and reused is what's best for you at this time. Or you might just enjoy it the most. So like on our Travels on the Road series, you just use what you have and you have fun. So thank you for joining me. It's Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and today we examined my book that is quite big and fluffy and have made this page. Thank you. Hope you have a great day full of fun, creativity, and most of all, love. Thank you.